The Zeb and Deb Phonics program presents the Vocabulary Word Bank Show number 1 that helps prepare students for Worksheet number 1. This goes with a short A story called Al Ant and the Bad Asp by Debbie Dunn. By the way, the Zeb and Deb brother and sister team want to remind you that A makes 4 main sounds. It makes the short A sound that you hear in apple. It makes the long A sound that you hear in safe. It also makes the aw sound that you hear in water. And it makes the sound that you hear in I am aghast. Zeb said, "This is how this show will work. The letter A makes 4 main sounds. A, ah, and Deb said, "That's right. Now you're going to see a series of 12 words. With each word, you're going to decide which A sound does the A in that particular word or syllable make." Here's the directions. The narrator will read each word aloud. Then you repeat the word. After that, have your teacher pause the video. During that time period, you're going to figure out which sound the A in that particular word made. If it made the short A sound, then that word on the following screen will float up to the first slot. If the A in that particular word makes the long A sound, then the word on the next screen will float up to the second slot. If the A in that word makes the ah sound, then on the following screen, that word is going to float up to the third slot. And finally, if the A in that word makes the sound, then on the following screen, that word will float up to the fourth slot. After that, you continue playing the video to find out if you were correct. Have fun with this. Repeat after me. Grass. Now, have your teacher pause the video. Which sound does the A in grass make? Read it with me. Grass. Did you decide which slot that word's going to float into? Let's see if you're right. Did you get it? I bet you did. Good job. Grass. Repeat after me. Crawl. Okay, pause the video and figure out which sound the ah of crawl, which sound does it make? Read the word with me. Crawl. All right, which slot does the word go into? Did you guess the third slot? I bet you did. Good job. Repeat after me. Asp. All right, now it's time to pause the video until you figure out which sound does that particular A make in the word asp. Read it with me. Asp. All right, did you guess the correct slot? Let's see. Did you guess the first slot? Good job. Apple. Now you read it. Okay, pause the video until you figure out which slot the word apple will float into. Read the word with me. Apple. Which slot does it go into? Were you correct? Good job. Repeat after me. And. Pause the video until you figure out which slot that word goes into. Read the word with me. And. Which slot does it go into? Did you select the first slot? Good job. Now another way to say 2 plus 2 equals 4 is 2 and 2 equals 4. I bet you already knew that. Repeat after me. Sad. Pause the video until you figure out which slot that word will float into. Okay, read the word with me. Sad. Which slot does it go into? Did you guess correctly? Good. Well, maybe then that sad sack won't be so sad any longer. Repeat after me. Fangs. Pause the video until you figure out which slot that word will go into. Read the word with me. Fangs. Which slot does it go into? Did you guess correctly? Good job. Notice all the fangs on those creatures. Ooh. Repeat after me. Paw. Pause the video until you figure out which slot that word goes into. Paw. Read it with me. Paw. Which slot does it go into? Did you figure out the third spot? Well, good job. And of course, here we have a mouse trying to escape from a gigantic cat's paw, and a cat cleaning his paw. Repeat after me. Anti. Now pause the video until you figure out which slot that word will go into. Anti. Read the word with me. Anti. Which slot does it go into? Did you guess correctly? Or more than guess, did you know the right slot? I bet you did. Now notice our pictures. We are anti-bullying, which means we are against bullying. So that symbol of the circle with a diagonal line through it and the word anti, those both mean against. We are against it. Repeat after me. Shack. Okay, pause the video until you figure out which slot that word goes into. Shack. Read the word with me. Shack. Which slot does it go into? Did you figure it out? I bet you did. Repeat after me. Tail. Pause the video until you figure out which slot that word goes into. Read the word with me. Tail. Okay, which slot does it go into? Did you get it right? I bet you did. That makes all of these animals wag their tails. here's the bonus word that's going to tie in with the worksheet that you're about to work on. All right, repeat after me. Ant. All right, get your teacher to pause the video and decide which sound does that particular A in the word ant make. Say the word with me. Ant. All right, which slot does that word float into? Were you correct? I bet you were. The teacher will give you a worksheet that ties in with this video. Your first job is to write your name on this sheet. Let's read the directions. Directions. If the picture starts with the letter A, put the uppercase letter A in the small circle below the picture. Then write the rest of the letters that forms that word beside it. There is a word bank to help you out. For example, notice the picture of the ant. Since ant begins with A, we put an uppercase A in the circle, and then we spell the rest of the word beside it. So we've spelled out the word ant. Notice the word bank. That way you can spell each word correctly. Reading from left to right, let's read the words in the word bank together. And, anti, apple, asp, clap, crawl, fangs, grass, paw, sad, shack, tail. Here's the directions again. Find the pictures that begin with the letter A. If it does, put an uppercase A in the circle like you see in the example word of ant. Write the rest of the A words. Write all the other words. Use the word bank so you can spell each word correctly. Zeb said, "Stay tuned for other tales and activities created for the Zeb and Deb Phonics program." Deb said, "These were created by professional storyteller and certified K-8 teacher Debbie Dunn." Have a great day, everybody. Yeah, have a great day. We'll see you next time.